Hi everyone, my name is Seth. I live in Medford. I work in Somerville. First I want to thank Kevin and Laura for continuing this tradition, and to Ruth. I have known Brother Blue for 25 or more years. I had the honor about 10 years ago working with Ruth and Brother Blue on their website. So I've designed their website and I host it at brotherblue.com, and there's a guest book on there. You should go on there, and it's a very old site, but looking up very, very shortly in the next couple of weeks we're going to totally update it and make it modern. It'll be able to support more modern like features. I went to many storytellings. I mean, I videotaped. I've got lots of videotape, and I never told the story. I made announcements. But I never told the story, and I always thought I would someday. And I always said, well, this will be this summer, this will be this will be the year. And then when I found out he passed away, I was, of course, crushed, like so many of you. I said, well, what's going to happen now? And it's continuing. And so this is going to be my story, is to Blue and to Ruth. And so, anyway, I wrote an appreciation for Brother Blue, and it's called The Last Quixote. And what I figured I would just read it, and then I got here and I realized, oh, I forgot it. So now I have to be the story, as Brother Blue would say, or I have to perform the story. So it's in writing. It's on the website, but I'll try to recreate it. It's the appreciation called The Last Quixote. Be the butterfly, breakdancing in the sky. How many want to climb the mountain? Climb the mountain that's inside of you. Go to where the higher self is. May I call you God. An appreciation for Brother Blue is, by definition, cannot be written. As Brother Blue himself would say, it is just, How can anyone it is just the sound of the inner smile. The sound of a butterfly discovering flight. The sound of tears forming in a new mother's eye. How can anyone put in words the gratitude for a man whose sole purpose in life was to bring us to a place where words dissolve? Brother Blue, you have a kaleidoscopic charisma. You have unflappable optimism. You were the premier mascot of First Night and was the mascot for 33 years after that. He never missed a First Night. He helped bring in the new year for generations of Bostonians. The First Night event, which is now replicated around the world, literally began with Brother Blue in the front.
Wow.
one time while walking with Blue and Ruth down the street, there was this elderly woman, was a neighbor, I guess, and small, walking with a cane, and Brother Blue was just like, "Oh, darling, you are so beautiful today. You make my heart." And of course he had to go somewhere. And of course Ruth, I'm glad other people mentioned her patience, because in my appreciation I mentioned that she has the patience of Job. And eventually begins the slight little, "Okay, now, Blue, we need to go. 1 minute, thank you." So the more she tugs on him, the more emphatic he becomes in his adulation on this lady, and more. It doesn't get less, it gets more as she pulls. And finally she yanks him, and he just looks at this lady and he says, "Now listen up, because I'm going to tell you something. Your spirit is so high, when you walk, you lift the street." And finally, as many of you know from Brother Blue events, and this is the one that goes right to me, he would say, "How many people does it take to form a critical mass? How many?" And of course, I'm nervous because I studied engineering in school. And I'm like, shit, I'm supposed to know the answer to that question. And he'd say, "One, you."